so I recently got a comment on one of my videos asking me to do a video on books that I've read because they are looking for some good books. So today I am bringing my sister into the mix because she's read some different books than I have, so I thought it'd be a good idea just to combine it and so we can give you the best of everything. So I will let you start because you have more books than I do.
Okay. This book's pretty, well, I wouldn't say pretty popular, but a lot of people know about it.
I'd say it's pretty popular.
Yeah. It's called The Perks of Being a Wallflower.
It's a movie too.
Yeah, the movie actually does it justice, surprisingly. It's actually really good. But it's a pretty easy read, and it's written in the form of letters, which sounds weird, but it's not even weird at all. I don't know.
And what would you say your rating of it would be? 5 stars? 4 stars? 4.5?
Probably 5. I really like this book. I don't know. I don't think I'm very good at rating books. I mean, I read it and I basically like it. But
she's a pretty slow reader too, so as you can see, it's
this book took me like 2 weeks to read.
The size is right.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're like me, you like reading, but not a lot of the time, this is a good book for you.
Okay, and most of mine here that I have in this big stack is pretty much series, except for this one. This is called Winter Girls by Laurie House Anderson, and it's kind of weird. It's about like this anorexic girl, but it like tells a story of like how she feels in her head. So it's kind of like, I don't know if you want to understand somebody that's like that. I guess it's a kind of interesting read just to see like what goes on in their head, and it's just, I don't know, it was kind of weird, but it was kind of interesting at the same time. I don't know, I thought it was pretty good. It wasn't one of my, wasn't one of my top 100% I loved it books, but I still thought it was pretty good. I guess I'd probably give it probably a 4 to 5 stars.
Alright, back to my whole liking reading but not a lot thing. The Book of Awesome is another book for you if you're like me. If you don't know what this is, it's basically a book. It has a bunch of little, I want to say stories, but I wouldn't really call them stories. I guess some of them are. But it just has like a bunch of little descriptions of awesome things, like popping bubble wrap, the smell of rain on a hot sidewalk, hitting a bunch of green lights in a row, waking up and realizing it's Saturday, fixing electronics by smacking them. That's a good one, I like that. Picking the perfect nacho off of someone else's plate. Gotta love those things. Just reading it makes you appreciate these things so much more. And you can pick up the book and put it down whenever you want, because there's not like a story throughout the whole book. It's just like a bunch of little things, so you don't need to know the beginning to understand the end. You just open it wherever basically, so this is a good book to read.
Yeah. I didn't actually read the book, but she makes me read a few things out of it sometimes, and there's some funny ones in there. There's some good ones.
You're gonna be weirded out, but my favorite is
She has it marked.
Hearing a stranger fart in public. It's just so funny.
It's too long to read right now, but
it's 2.5 pages long, and it's like one of the funniest ones.
If you've read that, or if you're going to read it, just read that one, because it's funny. Okay, so going on to mine. My next one is a series of books. The first one is called Shiver, the second one's called Linger, and the last one is called Forever. And it's another one of those, werewolf-y kind of stories. There's no vampires in it. But there is well, I wouldn't really call them werewolves, but they're wolves that turn into people. And I don't want to give too much of away, but there's a girl, and there's a little bit of love in there, and a little bit. There's a lot of it. There's a lot of love in there, and I don't know. I thought it was really good because I don't know. It's not really your stereotypical werewolf love story, but it's a really good read, and I really liked it.
Yeah, it's kind of different take on a werewolf or wolf thing, but I read the first book. That's it so far. I mean, I'll get around to reading the other two.
Trust me, reading the first one's good for her.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. I read them fairly quickly because that's what I do when I get a book that I like, I read it, get the next one, I read it, get the next one, I read it, and then it's done, and then it's over, and then I'm sad. So that's what I did.
I'm sad.
Because I just want more. But that's what I did with these ones, and I thought they were super good. I recommend. I'd say 5 out of 5 stars for these ones.
Alright, my next book is Pretty Little Liars. I know. I actually only read the first book. There was probably like 9. But I watched the series on TV. And
We
it's so
watched the
good.
series on TV. Never missed an episode.
Okay, honestly, I thought it was gonna be so stupid. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe people actually like watch those kind of shows because they're just so dumb. But you don't even understand. You just, as soon as you watch it, you're like, oh my god, that's so good.
You watch one episode no matter where it is, and you're hooked. You're just like, oh my god, let's go.
Yeah, reading the book was good too. I didn't get on to the other ones yet, but I want to eventually. I'm sure they're just as good, and I hear that this show doesn't actually follow the books completely, so it's nice to compare and stuff. Actually, I think if you watch the series and you haven't seen, if you watch the series and you haven't read the book, I'm pretty sure Spencer has blonde hair in the book. I can't really remember because it was a long time since I read this, but I'm pretty sure Spencer has blonde hair, and I'm like, I can't even deal with it.
I can't
deal.
even. Okay, so my last pick for today's video is The Hunger Games, and this is becoming really popular lately with the movie, and it's not water. There. With the movie and, Catching Fire coming out, and I just loved these books. I saw the movie first, and I actually saw the movie was it this year? Yeah, it was this year. I actually saw the movie this year, and then like 2 days later, I went out and bought the first book, and I read it so quickly because it was so good. And there was quite a few, there was a lot of differences, especially the end. Or maybe it was the second book that the end was really different. I don't know, but one of them, I don't know. There was quite a few differences in it. No, it couldn't be the second book because we didn't see the second movie yet. So it was definitely the first book then. The ending was really different, but I zoomed through these in a week. I read this book in 2 days, which is really fast for me because I'm usually a really slow reader, but they were just so good because they literally have everything. There's the love triangle, there's the war, there's the justice, there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on. Then you just get, oh my god, I gotta know what happens. I have to know how it ends. I have to know who she picks. I have to know what happens. So, if you haven't read them, read them.
Yeah, even before the movie, I never read the books, but I watched the movie. But even before the movie even came out, I remember people being like, oh my god, read The Hunger Games, it's so good. And I was like, I don't think so.
I know!
It did not sound good at all, but
Yeah.
the movie was so good.
Yeah, my friend told me about it. She's like, oh, you should read these to look at it. I was like, what's it about? And I was like,
yeah, I know, it
What?
sounded really weird. You're just
why would you want to read a book about that? What? I actually didn't even really want to see the movie that much. That's probably why I didn't see it until...
I know, I didn't really care about seeing the movie that much either. I don't even remember who I went with to see it.
Yeah, I didn't see it until February this year. So I didn't even want to see it.
I'm pretty sure I seen it in theaters, but...
Just the name of it bothered me. The Hunger Games, just
I know.
hearing people say it. I'm pretty sure I told you that before. I told somebody that I didn't even like the sound of it, The Hunger Games. It just bothered me, but...
It's kind of weird.
Don't judge a book or a movie by its name, I guess, because... Or cover, or anything, because...
That always happens to us. We always judge things, then we get to know it, and then we're just like, oh, that's not that bad at all.
But we never learn. We
No,
never
we
learn.
don't. Honestly, we don't.
But anyways, might as well move on to your last pick. That is your last one, right?
Yes, my last book. It's called Looking for Alaska. Another pretty popular book. This one and The Perks of Being a Wallflower are probably my 2 favorite books of all time. It's just about this guy named, his name's Miles, but they nicknamed him Pudge. He goes to boarding school and he meets some friends. He never really had friends before, but he meets friends and he's seeking the great perhaps. And it's really good, but I will warn you, it makes you want to punch stuff. It does. It's really good. but you've been warned about this book. It gets you going, you think it's this one thing, and then it totally turns around and it changes, and you're just like, I can't do this anymore. But it's still really good. I mean, the ending is just really good, even though it's really bad at the same time. I hated it and loved it, and just this big thing. I hope they make a movie for it. Anyways, that's all I have.
So obviously, well, I don't know about.
Oh wait, and this is also by John Green, which is a popular writer. Here he makes a lot of good books, like The Fault in Our Stars. I'm pretty sure that's a popular one. Sorry, cut you off.
Right.
I want to read that one. I hear it's really good, but yeah, John Green's a good writer, so.
Like I was saying, so obviously, I don't know about you, but I have quite a few more books that I really liked. So I'll probably do another video, but we couldn't fit them all into this video because it could have been like an hour-long video, and nobody wants to watch an hour-long video on YouTube about books. So that is where we're going to leave today off. And if you guys have any favorite books or recommendations for books, or read any of these books, comment down below on your thoughts on them, or books that you'd recommend, because I am always looking for new books. So that is it for today, guys. If you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys soon with a new video. Bye!
Later, Gator.